How y'all doing tonight on this Saturday as we on the brink of this weather change in this joint? Hopefully people have enjoyed this holiday weekend. Hopefully you're safe and happy and having a great time visiting family, coming off a turkey day. And so I know a lot of people are out and about visiting, traveling, coping. So that's a great thing. But I want it to be consistent and come on and still have a short chat tonight with you guys. So let me go ahead on. I forgot to send out some links to people. So hang on one second, y'all. And that's the perfect time because it's gonna let me to be able to get my little groove on. I don't own the rights to this music, y'all. Oh, nobody but you. So bear with me, y'all. Ah, yes, sir. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, though. So bear with me, y'all. Ah, ah. So I should be getting some people coming on here in a second. Let me put out a next batch of people. I'm off my game today, y'all, but that's because I'm feeling good, feeling lighthearted, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm entitled. I'm entitled, y'all. Yes, sir. So I'm going to end up having my co-host. What's going on, co-host? How you
I
doing tonight, baby girl?
thought at first I wasn't invited. I didn't know what was about to happen.
I came on a little late, so I apologize. I was trying to get myself situated from, putting up groceries and things. Yeah, it's real life out here, people. Real life out here. And making sure I have my mojo going as well. Alexa, pause. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alexa, pause. So I had to get my head right. But I've just sent out some invites, so hopefully
Mhm.
people are getting them. I apologize. You got to remind me of these things, Big Mac.
I was in the process of texting you, and then I
I
saw
wasn't even
someone else had
looking.
already commented it. So,
Okay. So, yes. So, I've got my sister Sherry coming on. I'm looking for Kennard to come
What's
on, so
up,
we're gonna
guys? What's
chit
up,
chat.
guys?
How you
hey,
doing
Sherry.
Saturday night, sis? What's going on in the Big Apple?
Nothing. Just sitting in this pandemic.
What's going on, brother Kennard?
I,
Oh, he
I
came
sound
on and
like
we
it's
lost him
muffled.
that quick. Huh?
Okay.
What you say, sis?
My mic is muffled. Let me see.
Well, I can hear. We can hear you well. We
Okay.
can. We can also see your round head. We can
Yeah,
hear you and we can see you.
my face is just like yours.
So who's prettier?
It's neat.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I'll take that, sis. I'll take that. So I know Kennard's trying to connect, so we'll give him a few minutes. So real quickly, thank you for guys for being a part of it. How was your holiday, sis?
It was great. I mean, I was a little tired from doing the cooking, but
Okay,
I was happy to see everybody happy eating the food.
good deal. You know what I always tell you, sis, and I'll share this with our viewers. If you got your family around you, everything else is just a bonus.
That's
hmm
right.
Everything is a bonus. So you have one daughter, you have a husband, her boyfriend I know was there, his family is safe, our mom was doing good. So when your little world is around you and you sat back after you cooked, what was wrong with your world? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Same thing, McMac. How was your holiday?
it was quick. It was quick.
This is the little Grinch, y'all, who hates holidays and whatnot. But the fact that she's smiling, that
hmm
tells me also, and I know this, that her family's doing well. So it's a blessing. I know you hate
hmm
holiday time, but
I
your mom
do.
is good, your dad is
For
good, your
real,
mates are
Tasha?
good. Yeah, she hates holidays.
Yeah, mine it just comes from working customer service for so long. Like retail is what did it for me. It really ruined the holidays for me.
Yeah, she truly hates holidays. Tasha can't wait for this whole thing to be over with.
Yes.
I
Come
should.
on, January the 2nd, and when we
I
through.
should.
Right. But for her, when they all the holidays pass, we can get back to real deal for her.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm giving Kennard a few moments. Daracella has also said she's going to join
I
us a little bit late.
I like
Um,
them better.
Tasha, do you want to post the link on the screen like you did before?
I sure will.
And that way, anybody tuning in, I won't have to break in and do it individually. Um, so,
All right, I
uh,
just posted it. Can you
okay,
see it?
Tasha's posted the link into the comment section. Um, let me see.
Do you want me to do it in Facebook and on YouTube as well? In the
No,
comments?
I've
Okay, you
literally
got
got
it?
it
Okay.
across the screen. So I don't know if that helps. If I do have my comments turned on. Sometimes I don't always do that, but I do have my comments turned on. If you need the link, shoot me a message on there if you want to come on live. It's across the screen, but if I need to, I can send it to you individually in Messenger if that's easier for you. That's okay. So I just wanted to kind of give a couple of more people an opportunity to come on because we're gonna have a little fun tonight.
Yeah.
For those of you that saw the subject, and I'll go over this again. It's called Let's Play. Let's be honest. Let's play the honest game. And I know that title for some people can be very scary because, oh my God, knowing Freddie, knowing Blackwell, what is he going to ask? You know what I'm saying?
Get on there.
Hmm.
You don't want to get on there because
This is not designed to be anything too
yeah.
revealing. It's not going to dig into anything. I intended to do a PSA earlier this week going into this. I just didn't get an opportunity to do that. But just so you know, anybody tuning in late, when I say let's play the honest game, if you've been watching me, you should know my format is
Hmm.
on Saturdays. We do not discuss anything real heavy.
Right.
It's by design. If you don't believe me, go back and look at some of the other shows. Wednesdays is my hard hitting episodes where we dig into some deep topics, where we're peeling back the onion. Saturdays, I try to reserve these topics for things that are more lighthearted, more fun, because the idea is that people are at home on a Saturday. If you're tuning in with me, I appreciate you. So I don't want you to have to feel like you're going to school, that you got to be just tied in on your P's and Q's. Saturday is when, if you notice when I come on, I always say, if you got it to smoke or drink, hey, this is when you should be relaxed and enjoying the conversation. Shavana, what's up, sweetheart? Thank you for joining. So when we play the honest game tonight, it's going to be on some fun topics. I've got a series of questions. I'm going to just, in no particular order, go by and ask people. Of course, they're going to be geared towards relationships, and it's really designed for us to kind of get to know each other a little bit better. Because since I can't be with you guys for the holidays, I imagined what would be fun if I was hosting a party in my living room where we was drinking, smoking hookah, smoking some blunts, and having some fun, playing like a charades, get to know you kind of
Hypothetical
game.
blunts. It's all hypothetical
All
blunts.
hypothetical tonight. So if you got it on your end, fire them up. But that's the concept behind tonight's show, that I wanted to just have a little fun because we always talk about, remember the good old days when people used to actually get together. Tasha, speak about that, of what people do and they call fun versus what we considered fun. And we only talking 5 years ago. Speak on that.
No, it's so funny that you say that. On like TikTok videos, that I'm always on TikTok or just seeing anything that people post on social media, what they consider fun now at a lot of these parties, and what you see, everybody's like dead on their phone. They're always looking down at their phones, or they're going live, and it's not always just like a group activity kind of thing. For us, when we used to go to house parties or just hang out, it was about drinking and talking, and just having that good conversation, and just that good vibe, just a really good atmosphere. And it's so hard for people to do that now, to do it successfully now. There's always the extra added element, and it's not to say that it's not done, but it's not done the way that we used to do it. I could say that.
Absolutely. And that's a great point. People still get together, but it's a different vibe,
Mhm.
than again, we're only talking 5 years ago, but it's a different vibe. Hope we get you back in, Kennard, to where when we show back in just 5 years ago, when you showed up, we had drinks in hand, we had food in
Mhm.
hand. What's up, Kennard? How you doing tonight?
What's going on, brother? How y'all doing tonight?
We doing good,
Awesome.
man. So we're kind of talking about how we're getting into this topic of let's play the honest game. And I was explaining how this is more of a fun type deal from like a throwback to when people used to get together to have a little fun exchange. We obviously can't all be together because, the pandemic and we live in different areas. So I thought tonight would be a great opportunity to kind of have a little fun with some questions, nothing serious. And although I intended to do a PSA, I didn't get a chance to do it. But I always reserve my Saturday sessions for more lighthearted topics. So we were just talking about how, like, just 5 years ago, how people used to get together and have more fun with each other. They talked to each other. They weren't consumed by their phones, their tablets, and those good old days when you order some pizza or somebody used to fry some fish or some wings. At least that's the way we did it in Memphis.
Yeah.
And we had some drinks and we would sit around and shit. And of course, we played cards and dominoes, and then we started talking. And we'd have
Mhm.
them great conversations sometimes where it was men against the women and different things. So that's kind of the take on tonight's show, where when I say let's play the honest game, I've got a series of questions, and it's just really designed to have a little fun where we kind of get to know each other a little bit. Daracel has already sent out that she's going to tune in with us a little bit late. She actually said she's had a very tough work week, so she is looking forward to coming on. So as different people pop in, we're gonna have fun with it. But I've already asked them, how was your holiday, man, so far? How was your holiday?
Actually, the holiday was great, man. I was actually very busy, to be honest with you, as far as work goes, and then trying to fit in, uh,
Okay.
YouTube commentary and all of this other stuff. You see my Auburn background. Of
Mm.
course, Auburn got
Y'all got slaughtered tonight, man.
Yes.
Auburn got their asses kicked tonight. I actually picked Auburn to lose this game,
Okay.
38-24. I'm not a homer when I do my analysis and picks. I pick it based on not what I love, but what I see and the
Gotcha.
Now I knew
Gotcha.
Auburn was gonna get their MF and asses kicked tonight. I didn't think it would be as bad as it was, but War Eagle to my alma mater. And big shout out to the Theta Delta Newts, Kappa Alpha Psi. We always do it big, even though we had to do it Zoom wise and remote, but always a big game, the Iron Bowl. So this has been a really nice week, and I was
Okay.
looking forward to doing this show just as a damn buffer from having to push myself
Right.
to actually do commentary after I knew we were going to get our asses kicked as always. So, but this is always a relief for me to do, commentary here because it gives me a break from. I mean, they
Love
listen.
it.
And man, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to stick to your day job. Man, shut up. I know what I'm
Kennard, me and Tasha was talking about you just yesterday about your sports show. Go tell everybody out there listening. I don't have a great big audience, but tell them where to find you, man, on your YouTube channel.
Okay, so you can find me on Vernon Speak Sports Auburn. I talk about Auburn football. I also like talking about the SEC as well, the Southeastern Conference, very competitive conference. And I always end with the tagline, it's always great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. So as we talk about the honesty game, I want to dive into this. I don't know where I have come in on the topic.
We hadn't started yet.
Oh, okay. So I can go on and sip one more time and get ready.
There you
Absolutely.
go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I
And so
have a soft landing with y'all tonight.
absolutely, man. And that was the one thing I wanted to make sure the audience know. None of the questions I'm going to ask are anything that digs into your personal business to the point of nothing like that. This is not that. This is all fun related stuff. And even if a question I come to it and it's fun or risque, just say, hey, I'm not going to answer that. That's what this is. So it's just more of a fun thing. So I've got certainly some questions. Me and Tasha even decided to throw in. We were going to do a topic at one point where we were talking about which would you prefer, somebody funny or smart. So we're just going to explore like various different topics where people are getting to know you. We're getting to know each other and things like that. So I've got questions. If you've got some questions you want to ask anybody on the panel or put it out for the whole panel, feel free. This is one of those times where this is us getting together on the holiday weekend. Sherry smoking that good and has got a coffin.
Here's something that I did leave out that I thought was pretty dope. I actually got a chance to link up with my father and my brothers and sisters. First time I'd seen them since we were 8. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday.
Wow.
Dope ass event, man. We had an incredible time. And it just goes to show that the holidays, even in the pandemic, I had the opportunity to experience an epic moment. And I didn't want to leave that out. I think I have a lot of respect for you guys and have come to really, adore, really like this show. And I just wanted to share that, man. That shit was dope.
Thank you. No. Okay. So,
big.
okay. For you sharing that. So again, this is us getting to know each other. That's a huge one for me and my sister. So I got to ask you a question. I know Sherry kind of feel where I'm going with this. Without digging too much of your business, tell as much as you like. Why was it such a long period between you guys connecting?
Well, here's the thing. My father and I, we, he and my mother were married for, 5 or 6 years. I actually had the whole military ID, so it was legit.
Okay.
But then divorced, and there was a long period of time to where he actually started another family with his ex-wife now, and my brother Decory and my sister Drina. And as it turns out, as they lived in Nashville, I lived in Tuskegee, and there was really no legitimate facilitation for each other. The last time I saw them was it was Tuskegee's homecoming. They were Corey was 8, and I think Drina was 5. That was the last time that I saw them. But then when I got married, Candace actually was asking me, you know how you get to know people and all this other stuff. And I told her, I was like, well, hell, I have a paternal brother and sister that I talked to in a while. And because of her, I actually reconnected with them. Reached out to them. It was in 2013. And we start, and that's the beauty of, so that's the actual good part of.
Yes.
So I started reconnecting with them. And as it turns out, I'm looking at them develop. I'm looking at them growing their families and things of that nature. And this year, the reason why I was able to crystallize so easily was because Corey and Drina's mother actually moved to Atlanta. And she was hosting Thanksgiving. And I mean, it was just like borderline no excuse for me.
Right.
I was going anyway. But that's how the reason why the total distance, and it goes back to, it's nobody's fault.
Right.
Just, circumstantial type thing.
Absolutely.
Is, this stuff to happen. But when you reconnect and things go full circle, and then, my father was actually emotional. He was like, man, I almost cried when you walked through the door. And he, it was just a beautiful reconciliation.
I love it. I love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah. And it goes to show that just because things might've been rocky, back in the day, or when people didn't even, sometimes it takes us a little while to figure shit out.
Very true.
We think about, we say stuff like, well, why didn't you do that? I didn't know to do that. Because if I knew to do that, it's like when you know better, you do better. And
absolutely.
We know better, we're doing better.
So, absolutely.
And I think that's just a big deal for situations like that.
Absolutely.
And I've had experience with that. Sometimes it's just where you are in your life that you just don't want. Maybe it's not even wanting, or you just don't have it in you in order to put in the necessary work into that relationship. You just don't have that in you at that time. And it'll come back later on. Sometimes it does, where you do have the time, or that you, like you said, you know better, you've learned more, you've really matured in the sense of, you know, making it more realistic, making it work for you for that relationship. So
Right.
it's definitely something I think a lot of people have gone through.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'll say last thing on it for me and my sister. Um, Whenever we hit this holiday time, you know, it always causes you to reflect on family and things of that nature. And we're truly blessed to have our mom be 85 years old. She turned 85 in September, and she's in relative good health. You know, so no senility. You know, no onset of Alzheimer's, even her other medical issues of, you know, high blood pressure and diabetes are being controlled, believe it or not. And so we're very, very blessed. You know, what's going on, Candace? How you doing, sweetheart? So we're very blessed that, you know, to have our mom be in good health and to all the things we worked very hard this whole year to get her to a place where all of her children are involved in her health and in the decisions of her health. But then when Kennard, your husband, Candace, was telling us about the reconnection with his family, that's what he was telling us about that. Sherry and I share a father that was never there. Now she knows him more than I do,
I
you
don't know
know.
him.
You know him better than I do, because I don't want to meet him.
I met him by mistake.
Okay. So you can see that with us, you know, for me, I don't hate the man, I don't know the man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say this last part, then we're gonna move on to the show. The part I miss is not knowing him. The part I do miss is knowing that I have half brothers and sisters out there. I would like to know them, because for us, you know, we're connected by a paternal lineage that we could be whoever, whatever to each other. I don't know. But I think for me personally, that ship has sailed as far as having a father in my life. But I love hearing stories about people connecting and things of that nature. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm glad you guys had a great holiday. I'm glad everybody had a holiday. Candace, we can ready to jump into this. It's called Let's Play the Honest Game. As I was telling everybody really quickly, this is just like a get together of having some lighthearted topics. This is not designed for anybody to dig any deep and get personal with your personal business.
So nobody will be asking me how many people I cut.
No, I won't ask that question. I will not ask that question. If that question gets asked, I mention if there is anything you say, hey, I'm not going to answer that. That's too much or whatever, because it's not designed for to go into that kind of deep stuff. Now, some of it may be risque. My very first question is on the brink of risque, and you can choose to answer. I'm going to answer it myself personally to set the stage for this whole thing. You, as I pass it for you guys, y'all can say, I'm not answering that question. My first question is going to be, what is your worst sexual experience? Yes, I'm going there. So these, and for my questions, they geared towards relationships. But again, and you'll see as I tell this story, it's not designed to embarrass anybody or anything like that. But, and I'm going to keep my story short. And again, you can choose not to answer. And then I'm going to let you guys go with a question and throw out for anybody individually or throw out for the panel in general. So let me tell you what my worst sexual experience is. And I've got a few. Just so you know. But truly the worst sexual experience, when I look back on everything, this is in my absolute prime. So I can't blame this on, oh, I was fat, I'm weight, I couldn't handle my own or anything like that. This was in my absolute prime. But this is at a time when I know, Candace, you do your story times, and I've listened to your story times, and you're very funny when you tell your stories, because you be leaving out a lot of the little facts that could really juice it up. So I'm gonna say it like this.
Yes.
This was during a time when I drank a lot more than I could drink now. I can't drink anymore. But this is during a time when going to the club, you guys ever remember the Smirnoff vodka and the bumpy face vodka, the big one that had the handle on it. This is what I was drinking at the time. 2 of those. When I used to go to the club, this is how much I used to be able to drink. Where we would walk in the club and I got one, my boy would have one, and we'd have a little fifth to split. That's how much liquor we drank in one club sitting. We're talking about a 5 or 6 hour period. I could really drink back then. Yeah, that's how my liver really could handle it. So we got the big this, and we were drinking Bumpy Face at this time. We got the Bumpy Face Seagram's lemon lime twist one. We in the club, and this is at the height of my fame. So I'm the absolute shit at this point. When I walk in the club, I know I'm the shit. We get one of my female friends is in there, and her friend came, and of course. The female friend of mine, I had already been with her, but a friend was bad. So the whole game was we gonna scheme on her. My 2 nephews was visiting this particular weekend. So I ain't gonna say no names. So okay, we schemed to make this thing pop off. We shut the club down. It's 3 o'clock. This is normal. Okay. We leave from the club. We get back to my place. The party's still crunk now. My boy, my main boy, we got this, we've had this thing down to a science. When I open the door and I'm walking in to get him comfortable, he's in the kitchen making daiquiris. So we're still drinking, mind you.
Damn.
So he in the kitchen making the daiquiris. I'm cranking the music up. I got the porn playing. My other nephew, who's not normal with us, he just don't know what's going on. You just get in where you fit in, and we're discussing this on the way home. As guys will do, Kennard, you had your past before, so we all saying, look, I want to get these, we got it going on.
Right.
So he making the drinks, it's popping off. They pull out weed, we smoking and everything.
Yeesh.
Now let's get to the heart of it. It pops off. This is 5 something in the morning. Woo! Let me tell you guys, I'm gonna keep this clean. It was going down in there, and I could not hold my own. That's the nicest way for me to put it. I could not hold my own. Let me tell y'all, this went on and on. It started about 5:30, 12 p.m. the next day. It's still happening. I'm so devastated. I'm in my room with the door closed because I can hear my 2 nephews out there handling their business, and they keep busting in the room with me, trying to include me, and I cannot get into this to save my life. I can't handle my business to save my life. I cannot. This went on to 3 p.m. I never been so disappointed, and no matter what, and it wasn't like I didn't try. They were messing with me. I was messing with them. Do you know how frustrated it is to have to stand and watch this happening in front of you and you cannot participate? That was my worst sexual experience. I got other stories, but that's my worst sexual experience right there. I dare you guys to follow that.
Well, shoot, I can't follow that, but I can tell you my worst one because you were a part of that one. It was a few years ago. It's been a while. A friend of mine, I came to your apartment when you were living in Bartlett.
Okay.
First time you ever met this person. It was just the 3 of us. It was the first time you ever met this person. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So we're there, we're drinking, having a good time and everything, and then it gets time to leave, and I leave with my friend, and we go to his house. So that, we stopped at Crystal's on the way to his house because, again, he hadn't eaten, but he had been drinking. So we get there, he eats, and, he kept saying that he just didn't feel well, that his stomach was messed up, but he still wanted to do the do. So, okay, no problem. So we're into it. We're going at it. In the middle of it, he gets right up to projectile vomit all over me, over the wall, on the floor, everything.
I've never heard this story. First of all,
his dog.
You gotta give me some more details on who the person was.
This person I hold very near and dear to my heart. The one that I would say is just the ultimate for me, just the one that absolutely was in love with. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. Yes. So,
Wow.
so of
Wow.
course we stop in the middle of it. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." He runs to the bathroom. His dog starts to eat the vomit. So here I am.
Oh.
Yes, here I am, like running around like Winnie the Pooh, just a top on and no bottom, and I gotta clean all this stuff up. Let me just say, it was a long night. It was a long night.
Wow. Wow.
Girls, it would have been a distance for me.
I she okay. I never knew that story.
Yes.
This is why I want to have some fun with this. I never knew that story. Okay. Anybody else want to go? Worst sexual experience. I know you
Kennard.
married people. Y'all can't go there. So Sherry, I'm gonna put you on the spot, sis.
Brother,
Okay. I'm sorry.
I ain't telling you nothing about me, brother. No.
Sherry say no. Sherry say no.
I have one.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it didn't actually happen, but it was in college, and I was in a modeling organization, and we at this time, me and my best friend, we were running it, and so we dealt with a lot of different men and women, and so this one particular guy wanted to talk to me, so I finally gave in to him because he was begging, begging, begging. We went out or whatever. So we get back to at the time I was staying in a one-person dorm room or whatever. So we come to my dorm room. Oh my goodness. Can y'all hear my child screaming? She's in the
Not
background.
really.
Okay.
Nuh-uh.
So we get to my dorm room, candles are lit, the setup is nice, and he can't get it up. And he blames it on, because at the time, like I'm not big now, but I have a figure now. Back in college, I was shaped like a 12-year-old. And so he was like, maybe you're just too skinny. And
Wow.
I
He
was like,
blames
wow.
you. He blames
Yes.
Mm-mm.
So at that point, I was like, oh, you can leave. This is over.
Wow.
So nothing actually ever went down.
Right,
But after
right.
that, he still was trying to get it. And I'm like, you couldn't even perform, and then you blamed it on me being too skinny. Like,
Mm-mm.
so
I owned mine. I owned mine. Now we'll say this so you guys know, if anybody know that story. I redeemed myself. I could not participate in that. I caught the friend on a separate occasion, and I redeemed myself. So I will say I will say that. We'll say that. Kennard, you got one to add to this?
I mean, I can probably kind of pick from several. This one was absolute. I remember I was working at Enterprise Rent a Car, right? And this was back in like 2006, and I rented a car out to this lady, and we went to the spot. We had to switch the car out, and she like, oh, okay, you cute, whatever. So we started kind of interacting and talking. Matter of fact, it was kind of janky to where she would come up to the job, and we would, not necessarily be as far as like having sex and that, but she'd come up there and we'll get some kisses in here and there, whatever the case may be. Mind you, this chick was married like an MF. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Here's the bad part about this. Now, she lived in Greenville. That's where the Enterprise Rent-A-Car location was. I lived in Tuskegee. The midway point is Montgomery. So we were like, okay, so you can link up. We can go to Tuskegee to my house, and we do this, that, and the other. Turns out, man, this was like the nastiest stuff that I ever experienced. One, she was like, because sometimes you can't tell how bad somebody's built in their clothes. I mean, I knew she wasn't like for real about that life as far as body goes.
Right.
We got there, man. It was so bad, and it's like I just went through with it because, I mean,
So this wasn't the woman with the hair on her.
I love it.
You ain't let me finish the story. So we get to the house. It was my grandparents' house. I'm renting it out now because they're, disabled or whatever. They live with my mama now, so now I'm taking over the grandparents' house. So we get to the house. This chick is married. We going all out on the limb, and not only is this chick have a bad, horrible body, I thought she at least had a little something going on.
Right.
She's got a horrible body, but then on top of that, she's got like hair on her the nipple part of it. It was just disgusting, man. And you talk about Lee, you talk about that you couldn't get it up or whatever, you couldn't get it. The fact that I was even able to do anything with it.
He said she had hair on her nipples.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. And then the bad part about it is like she wasn't okay. I'm gonna end it here. This was easily the worst experience ever. I mean, the hair threw me off. I should have known she would have had hair on her nipples because she had a little kind of what's that? Man, it was terrible. Man, I'm almost getting mad thinking about logistics that it took for us to get from point A to point B.
Right.
To wind up with a hairy.
Was you drinking? Was you drinking or smoking?
Man, the bad part about it, I was absolutely sober that night.
Oh no.
That's what made it worse. I was sober. I didn't drink nothing.
I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it. I would have had to be drinking or smoking at least to get through it.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, you need to damn near be snorting for this. Because it was
wow. Wow. I'm not gonna tell this story, but I have a similar one where a lady got naked in front of me.
Oh man.
Oh.
And then I have one where the woman shitted on me.
Oh, come on.
We're gonna leave those two.
Yeah.
These are true stories. These is true stories. I absolutely. So okay, I've got plenty of questions, guys.
Damn.
Anybody got a question? We're gonna go on to a different question. Anybody got a question?
No, let's go with this flow.
Okay, so we were gonna actually do a show on this. So this is a little more lighthearted.
Wait, I got a question.
Okay.
I was reading something earlier about Fantasia, and they getting on her because they saying she was talking about
that show is coming. That show is coming Wednesday. But go ahead.
She was talking about women are not
submission.
Right, submissive. And
I posted it on my page today.
You did?
That subject, that's the topic for Wednesday. We're going to talk about, for y'all don't know, Fantasia's pregnant, she's married, and she was doing an interview on the Breakfast Club, and she was talking about, how women should be submissive to men, and a lot of women were up in arms over the word submission. And she handled herself very well, talking about basically how a lot of times you have to let the man lead. But of course, in 2020, in this age of Me Tooism, Angela Yee and different ones were kind of challenging her about being submissive. I don't want to go too deep into it. That's literally what we're talking about Wednesday. And I'll give you guys a little teaser.
No.
Don't do it?
Don't do it. Not yet. No. Mm-mm.
My co-host said leave it alone.
It's too good.
She says too good. She says too good.
I was just going, I was reading and I was like, oh, it is like, I got to ask y'all on here. I mean, the women, like, what you think about it?
Save it for Wednesday.
Yeah, we got to save that.
Wednesday. There's a reason why, when I tell you, God has a way of raining down subjects on you at the right time. Tasha knows. I won't give no details, Tasha.
Okay.
This is so happened over what happened to me last night. Let's leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. You talk about it because you posted it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to. I called Tasha late last night.
Candace,
Tasha, how late was it when I called you?
Oh my God, it was like 1:30 in the morning or something.
There's a situation that happened last night, and I had to tell somebody about it. And this morning, Fantasia rained down on me, and I was like, the gods are so good because it's giving me the perfect platform to go there with this. So I'm going to tell what happened last night on Wednesday.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna lighten up a little bit. One of the shows that I kept posting and we, for whatever reason, we kept never having a chance to do it. So I want to ask you guys as a panel, which do you find more attractive? Somebody who's smart or somebody who's funny? Take your time. Which is more attractive?
That's a good one, because I was just talking about this to Kennard earlier. So myself, I prefer a man that's smart, because a man that's smart to me has a plan, and you will never get bored with the conversation. They have a lot of insight on things. So I actually prefer a man that's smart, and smart people can be witty and funny too. So
okay.
I'll say,
go ahead, Tasha.
No, I was just going to say, just for me, I was just going to give my opinion on it. For me, ideally you'd like a healthy dose of both, really, funny and smart.
But if you had to choose.
But if I had to choose, I want someone who's funny. I want someone who can make me laugh, because I feel like sometimes I can be a little bit too serious. So if you can make me laugh, then that's, you're halfway in right there.
Yeah, level it out, a balance.
Okay, Sherry.
I think I would go with Tasha. I like a person that can make me laugh, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want no grinny dummy either. I don't know, it's in between. That's just hard.
No. But if you had to choose between the two, which one would you choose?
I would choose the funny one. Mm-hmm.
This is very surprising to me. Okay. I'm Kennard. What do you say to this? No, I'm sorry, Sherry. Go ahead.
No, because you're saying surprising, because I mean, you smart yourself. You're smart enough for yourself to handle a lot of other things. You understand? But when you want to relax and deal with a companion, you want somebody that's gonna make you laugh. You know what I'm saying? Feel good in every aspect and all of that. All that's added, but I don't want nobody that's all stuck up and they just smart, sitting there and they, you never could get a laugh out of them, can't have a good time. No. He's smart. Like an educated fool, like that type of thing. No.
We got two funnies and one smart. So me and you the only men on here, Kennard. Jerry, where you at, man? Tracy, where you at, man? Where you guys at? Kennard, for you, which is it?
I'm gonna tell you, man. It's like a situation where I think being funny and being smart kind of go hand in hand, because you got to be smart to be funny. Because a lot of times being funny kind of goes into knowing about current events, knowing about how to articulate and the truth. A lot of times with being comical, there's a lot of truth in comedy.
So, I get that, but it's not always together.
I get you. But my thing is, if when it comes to, because first of all, when I'm dating somebody and I really like a lot of lighthearted stuff because of the things that I've gone through in my life.
Okay.
Will deflect to, sometimes I will, like casually deflect to comedy or listen to funny stuff on even YouTube when tragic stuff happens, because I've gone through that shit so much. I don't like that. I don't like tragedy. I don't like serious shit for the most part.
Okay.
So I will deflect to comedy. So if I'm gonna break this down, man, if what I really like is a funny woman. It's nothing like a woman that can make me laugh. It's nothing like a woman that can, have comic relief to stuff. Because Candace, like even in her YouTube channel, she's actually really a comical person. And we have a lot of comical discussions when we're doing our hookah and all that other stuff. And it's like straight up hilarious. It kind of reminds me of my grandmother and grandfather used to interact, because that shit used to be funny listening to them talk. So if it's up to me, we'll figure the serious stuff out when it's time to pay bills and figure out where the child is going to go to daycare and all this other stuff. But I like laughter. I like funny shit. That's just me. So I would rather have a fun.
But can I add to that?
Please.
I used to, because Kennard, I'm very serious at times. I used to hate when he would talk about people, because growing up, I was somebody that was talked about. And so when he did it, Kennard is like the popular boy, where I was the nerd in school. Okay. And so when he would do it, I'd be like, why are you talking about them? And so for me, I'll just say this. I have a slick mouth from always being bullied. And so when I get on him, it's a problem. So it's just funny to me though that he sees the comedy in me, because a lot of times it's not comedy, it's just me. I'm just retaliating against something he said to me.
Okay, okay. I'm loving this, and this is why we were going to do this as an actual topic. But Tasha said, "Well, no, bring it to this one." Welcome,
But
Daracel. How you doing tonight, sweetheart?
yes.
Hey guys,
Hi,
how
Good
are
to
you?
see you.
Dee.
We missed you. We missed you. We've been missing
No,
You
you.
gotta
but
bring it
I
on
wanted
with
to I wanted to say this about Kennard. I did like him because he can turn it off and on. Like when I needed him to, I remember we visited my church. I used to live in Texas. We visited my church in Texas. He stood up and introduced himself, and I was like, "Okay, preach, preacher." And then, and then at the same time, we go home, and he's just so his countryness comes out, and
Right.
so I'm just cracking up. So I do like a good balance.
No,
So I agree
and
with
that's
what
what
the
I'm
other
saying.
ladies are saying.
So here's the thing. You're absolutely right. Ideally, you want to have them both. But let me tell you guys, because I'm gonna get your opinion, Daracel, too. But what made me think about this is I was looking at the amount of funny people, the Dave Chappelle's, the Kevin Hart's, and I was looking at their wives and their girlfriends, and I was thinking to myself, well, man, for women at this stage, who do they find more attractive? Are they going for that funny guy and that could keep them laughing? Or would you want a guy that's serious? Now, of course, we would like them both. Or have both qualities. And Kennard makes a good point. I think comedians are smart. You have to have some smarts to be able to go there. But I'm talking strictly if you had to choose between those two characteristics. So, Daracel, if you had to choose between somebody that's funny versus somebody that's smart, which do you prefer?
I have always went for the smart guys. I like the nerdy. I like guys that I can have a wide variety of conversations with, from politics to religion or whatever. I mean, funny gets annoying to me at some point.
Okay,
There's only so
okay.
much
You
joking
sound
and
like me
silliness
because
you can do.
You
I
too.
said the smart guy
Especially
too.
That's what you said.
as an adult. Yeah, as an
That
adult, I need somebody that I could be serious with. And the smart guys to me are funny. Their humor is a little more intellectual though.
Hold on.
okay.
They're witty, like what I said.
Like,
So
yeah.
so hit so so I'm gonna put myself in this mix. I'm sorry, were you finished, D?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna put myself in this mix. I find that I have changed and evolved over as I've gotten older or whatever.
Mhm.
And when I was younger, you know, I preferred the funny girl. We're talking after my marriage had ended, all this kind of stuff, and I'm out there dating. The last thing I wanted was somebody that was real serious. I didn't want to have somebody coming into my home and we're talking about CNN and current events and how smart she was. For me, I was smart enough that I had to use those things on my job. So in my private life, I wanted no pressure of that. I didn't want to do that. And so I went through this whole period where I would have preferred the funny girl. Then as as started to age, that became irritating because we had less in common. And I don't know if it's because I've gotten older and the world has gotten more serious, but I find that now I want the smart person, now, and I'm not talking about somebody that's a walking encyclopedia, but I'm saying I crave now somebody that knows what the hell is going on,
Exactly.
because another little teaser, the company that I had last night, it was very
I
Tasha,
know.
stop it.
I,
Tasha,
I
stop
know.
it.
Listen.
And don't you chime in either. I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all.
I want to say this though. Maybe that goes with maturity versus somebody being funny or smart, because
That for
there's
me,
a
as
difference.
I have absolutely. I ain't even surprised. Okay, now. Okay, you two stop it. So we're gonna move on to another question. And again, I don't have to be the only person asking these questions. If y'all have a question, throw it out there. Anybody have a question, or y'all want me to keep going?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this one, it's a little personal. Again, any personal question you can choose not to answer, and anything. I'm not asking for you to get too deep on it or anything like that. But I will say, I'm going to ask certain things risky. So, have you ever cheated on someone? Anybody?
Yeah. Yes,
Hell
I have.
yeah.
Okay. Who said that?
Me?
Go. And
Yeah.
briefly, what were the circumstances?
I talked about it. It was the last guy that I dated. I had no business being with him at all. None. We had no business being in a relationship, and we were not on the same level sexually. And I just got tired of even going there with him. It was a chore at that point. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't pleasurable.
Okay.
It was just like, let's just do this just because I'm your girlfriend and we have to. But I definitely, took a back step to my comfort zone, so to where I knew that I was going to get what I needed and what made me feel better. Because
Okay.
what's the point of it? For me, it's a stress reliever. It's a major stress reliever. And why would I do it if I'm gonna be even more stressed after?
Okay. Okay. Anybody?
I'll say this: my first husband. I don't even know if I consider it cheating because we were separated and he got somebody else pregnant.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I saw somebody else, but I've been a part of an affair. If you watch my story times, I've been with 2 married men. So I call it, the story times are titled, I was in an entanglement part 1 and part 2. So
Okay.
I've been the side chick. I'll say that.
Oh, haven't we all?
Yes, we have.
Okay. 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 Anybody? Who's next?
I've cheated before, and I've been the side mistress or whatever. I don't like to be called the side piece,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, my situation was I was with a guy, and I was just going through the motions. He was in love with me, I wasn't in love with him, and I wanted to be with somebody else, so I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sherry or Kennard?
You don't want to hear from me because I cheat right now. My husband
Yeah,
right here. Listen, I ain't got time for all that.
yeah, I remember the craziest
He
shit
right here, see you?
was
Don't
me.
No,
do that. Don't do
Whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
no,
Don't
whoa.
do that.
he
Uh-huh.
right here. Now, listen,
Oh no, I
all
was
that time I
looking
keep it
back.
100.
Yeah, I was looking back to 2001 when I was in college. I first pledged, Kappa, whatever. Me and
Hmm.
this girl, we were together, and we were like, we were all about that life. You know what I'm saying? We was us against the world.
Okay.
What I'm saying, had this serious relationship. And 2001 comes around, and I get my own apartment. And for some reason, she comes out with that. You know what I'm saying? She wants to explore being with other chicks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to compromise this shit, but at the same time, hell no. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like I had access to other stuff anyway. But now, like, no, I get it. You want to explore. You don't know who you are sexually or whatever. And she decides that she wants to be in the relationship, but she wants me to compromise her doing all this other fuckery. You know what I'm saying? So
And
I
that was not me.
oh, like I'm y'all may not know it, but I'm kind of old. Like this was back in 2001, 2002. So
So yeah, I was in high school at that time.
Wow.
like
Okay.
nostalgic, type stuff. But either way, I get my own apartment, and you know what? Fuck this. I'm not about to compromise. I'm in college. I'm now starting to get into the prime of my life. So yes, I started. Matter of fact, the bad part about it was not only did I cheat on her, but I had like a lot of shit going on. Like I cheated on her. I had like 2 or 3 chicks coming. It was just it was a plethora of. I was like, I just got loose because it's like, for one, I was a member of I was like a church guy growing up. So I tried to be kind of conservative, but no, I was like, man, fuck this. So I broke up with her.
Can't cuss on YouTube,
Oh, I'm
sir.
sorry, man. But yeah, I was like, you know, I broke up with her. We didn't even break up. We were still kind of together. But yes, I started to do the whole cheating thing because to make a long story short and to add some kind of morality to this, I was like, the reason that I cheated was because I felt like I wasn't being fulfilled because she felt like she wanted to be with other chicks and I wasn't willing to compromise that.
Okay.
And whenever a person cheats, it's usually a void. You cheat because there's a void that you feel has to be filled. Long story short.
Gotcha.
I have a follow-up question. Oh, I'm sorry, Black, you still haven't answered, but I have a follow-up
Go ahead.
question. No, my follow-up question is have you ever been the side chick and didn't know that you were the side?
Yes.
Didn't know you was the side.
Didn't know you were the
Yeah.
side. And so you
I
had
didn't
that
know
Barbara, this is Shirley type of moment, you
No.
know.
Yes. In my part one of my entanglement, I met the guy at the club. Though I was married. At this was at a time where I had
I
just caught my
listened to your
husband.
story. I saw that when you said
Well,
that.
I had listened to my ex-husband on the phone saying pussy is pussy, so what if she's fat? I fuck everything. That's old school language. That's what he said. So I was like, oh, okay. I guess I need to quit Sunday school because I was a Sunday school teacher. I need to start doing me. So when I met the guy, I did not know he was married. I met him at the club, and that's why I say never. I cannot take anybody seriously that I meet at the club. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Okay.
I met him at the club. We hit it off. Everything is going good. He's saying all the right things, and then a month into us messing around, he was like, "I got to tell you something. My wife is in the hospital about to have our baby." I said, "Whoa, what? Why? Baby? Like what?" Like after you done had me,
You didn't have me.
I've been in that position. People would get mad at me for I've had those calls to where like, oh, you know, so and so is my husband. I had one girl, I hadn't even slept with this guy yet. He was a police officer here in Memphis. I won't say his name, but I should, but I'm not. Um, he and I, we met while I was at work, and we were talking and everything, and we had gone, on a few dates and everything. Well, one day I was hanging out with a friend of mine. She had come from Texas, and we were hanging out having a good time. And I get this call on my phone. It wasn't blocked or anything, and it's this lady, and she's like, "Do you know my husband so and so?" I was like, I didn't know he was a husband, but yeah, I know him. I was like, wow, like we're friends, we're cool, like we've been dating. And so she was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. I talked to this lady for over 4 hours. Not only was he married, they were living together. He had a secret phone that he had been calling me on. She called him with it. Like they had got into a fight and everything on the phone, like all this in 4 hours. And he had kids he lied about. He lied about his age. He lied about everything. But people would get mad at me because I will talk to you on the phone. If you're not disrespectful, I'm gonna tell you everything because why not? You didn't tell you lied to me. I'm gonna tell everything my head can hold now.
see,
That's not the first time it happened either.
The wife called me and said, "Have you been seeing my husband? Have you been sleeping with my husband?" And I was like, "What did he say?" And she didn't know what to say when I said that, and so I hung up immediately. I was a kid.
Right.
Nope. I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna tell everything. That's your husband. He didn't tell me. Oh, okay. Now we got a lot to discuss. I'm telling you where we went and everything.
I've dated married men. The only time that I've been cheated on was when I was a teenager. So, like, I didn't like the way that felt. It put me in a bad place. So, as an adult, I told men, I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you have a girlfriend. If I'm feeling you, I'm feeling you. You don't have to lie to me. And so then there was just the level of honesty. They would say, yeah, I'm married. Or I can't see you because I got to go with my wife. I got to go with my kid. So there was a level of honesty to that instead of putting pressure like, I want you to be with me and only me. They didn't feel that pressure, so they didn't have to lie about it.
I
But yeah,
got you.
it's crazy some of the stuff that married men can do because they would stay out with me all night. I'm like, where your wife think you at?
Yeah, my entanglement part two, the guy didn't leave my apartment until 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, your wife wasn't looking for you?
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
It happens. I'll end my portion of this question by saying I've never been faithful.
Ever? Hmm.
Damn.
There's no other way to put it. I'm not
Good
proud
point.
of it, but when I look back on it, I've actually never been faithful. Now, of course, I feel like I had my reasons,
Mhm.
and that's kind of sad, and I tried. On a serious note, on a few of them, I tried to be faithful, but circumstances led to reasons why I felt I had to cheat, and that's not good reasons. Stop laughing. It's not good reasons, but you had
And
a.
I,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I hate to say this. In life, I mean, we are all human, and I honestly don't expect somebody to be truly into that one person that they're with forever. I'm just being real. It's gonna
Right.
come up in your marriage, and you have to decide whether or not you want to deal with it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So,
So
Well,
I'll
see,
say this, like Daracel, I'll say this like Daracel. The older I got, the more blunt and direct I was about it because I didn't want to be in an entanglement. When I was young, I did the sneaking around thing. Now I was good at it, and I had all of these rules in place to make me good at it. You don't shit where you eat. So I wanted to give the person I was with the level of security that nobody could say, "Well, I've been in your bed. I know what your man's place looks like." So I would do it if I went out of town. And I did all the line that accompanied that, the fake name, the whole fake bio, all that stuff, so that even in the event this person came to the city I lived in, if she was looking for me, she was on a wild goose chase, you know, that the person she slept with, he worked as an executive manager for Walmart. I was in town visiting and this and that. So, I never felt like I had to look over my shoulder in that sense. So I had all those rules. But then the older I got and the bolder I got, like Daracel, my thing was, why am I gonna, lie about it? Look, if you're gonna deal with me, it comes with a certain level of expectation that I'm going to cheat. How much do you want to know about it? So a lot of my relationships was based on don't ask, don't tell, you know, and I was able to get away with that, Darcel hung around with me at the time. She know I had friends that come in. It was obvious, but they never asked.
Mhm.
I brought Darcel with me to barbecues with other women to see another woman,
Mhm.
and her family was there or whatever. And again, do you want to know who she is? So it was kind of like, don't ask, don't tell. If you came to my house and you saw glasses sitting out with the wine and the whatever, I had company. Do you want to know who was over here? And most of them chose not to ask. So, and that bothers me about myself because I don't know if I'm capable of being faithful. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject.
but see, my take on it is that I was that faithful person that got cheated on.
Okay.
Because I was married, I felt just so disrespected that I don't give a damn right now. I'm just gonna go on my way or no way. That's how I do.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. I understand. So, okay, we're gonna lighten the mood up a little bit, and so I'll ask this question. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Mhm.
I want to be invisible. I can just fool around and be in different
Okay.
areas.
Okay. Why? What is it about invisibility?
Well, you can go into rooms and be a fly on the wall. I'll just say that.
Okay. 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 Anybody else? This is one of those silly questions, y'all.
I agree with Candace. I think for me, especially now, how I am, if I could get away with just being invisible, just to go about my day-to-day business, I would. I really would. And because, I'm naturally nosy, so to go into those rooms, those places that you're not supposed to be in, and seeing and hearing those conversations or those actions that you're not supposed to be seeing,
Okay.
oh yeah, that would be good.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
I would like to have the ability to hear people's thoughts.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Why? That's a good one.
Because people lie, and if you could really know what people were thinking all the time, imagine that. I mean, just to know, you ask somebody a question and you know exactly what the answer is. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to take that truth. So that's why I don't want to read people's
Really?
minds.
Really? Okay.
You'll be
Okay.
patient every day, Dartel, because you'll be walking past, you'll see the haters and shit. What the fuck do you think shit? And you'll be looking at them like, what? That you ain't here.
But I like that one. I like that one because knowledge is power.
I would like that though too, yeah.
Okay. Kennard and Sherry, you got one?
No, I don't have none.
You're muted,
Oh,
Kennard.
yeah, I can't hear you, Kennard.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right. So if a superpower. Okay, so we talked about reading people's minds. Yeah, that would be cool. But then again, you don't want to always know the truth of what people are thinking. But fuck what they think. I mean, screw what they think. but either way, I think a superpower, in my opinion, would be, and I'm really winging this on the low, to be honest with you, because this was a crazy question, but I want to answer it though. A superpower is to be able to really,
you must be feeling your liquor. Sorry. Like,
this is a crazy question though. And it's one designed to not give you too much time to think about it.
You know what I'm saying? So I would think that, especially, I think a superpower is to be able to have somewhat of a telepathic type reality, to where you can know what's going to happen before it happens. And that's something that I've been able to do even at work. Like sometimes I can telepathically tell when somebody's about to call out, and I can respond to it.
Okay.
To have telepathic, they almost a third eye kind of viewpoint of life, to where you can foresee before it happens and almost have a high level of predictability. And I think that can lead to mental stability. That's all I got on this. Man, y'all got me on this.
I got you. No. This is just one of those.
I like that one because that one is more seeing the. Ooh, excuse me. Some liquor burn my throat, but that one is more seeing the future. So
yeah,
I like that one.
Right. This was just a silly question before I get to something a little more substantive. Yeah. I threw that in there because Superman is my favorite superhero. I'm old school, Superman is my favorite superhero, always will be. I would love to have the ability to fly if I could. I would love to be able to go anywhere I want to at the speed of light and get there. For me, that would enhance my quality of life in a way that you couldn't believe. Yeah, I hate driving in cars. I hate riding around. I wish I could just fly. And then I'm fascinated by space. I watch a lot of movies, and I'm truly drawn to any movies about space and the atmosphere, and I don't know if you guys watch Superman movies or whatever. There's this one movie called Superman Returns, and the coolest shit in the world about there's this one scene where Lois says she wins an award because she wrote an article called "Why the World Doesn't Need Superman." And he goes and picks Gator. He says, "Well, let me show you something." She stands on his toes, and they kind of float all the way up into the atmosphere. Yeah, I'm a big Superman fan. and then they like hovering above the clouds and looking. He says to her, "This is the coldest shit in the world." Superman is my dude. Superman says to her, he says, "Do you hear that?" She said, "I don't hear anything." He said, "I hear everything." And it's in that moment she realizes the burden that he has. But what the part that made it for me about the flying part, after he drops her off, he goes back and he's sleeping in space. The dude is just chilling in fucking space. Excuse me, y'all. He's just chilling. He's literally chilling in space, and he hears out of his supersonic hearing a siren go off, and his eyes come
Taylor, is
open,
the record
and
button on the
boom, he takes
VCR,
off.
on the DVR?
It don't get no colder
Is the
than
red
that.
button light on?
Superman is the man. That's the man. That's the man. So I wish I could be able to do some shit like that, because just the way he impressed her too. Because even he says, as he's taking her up, she says, "Well, whatever the boyfriend name," she says, "Well, he takes me up all the time," and he says the coldest shit in the world to her. He goes, "Not like this." That shit is so cold. That's the coldest shit in the world, and I just love that because how you gonna beat that? How you gonna beat that?
Well, did you watch the show Lovecraft Country?
Yeah, I did.
And so I like the episode where Anjanae Ellis travels time, and she performs
we
with
watched this.
yes, she performs. I forgot her name already. She because my liquor is getting to me, or my drink is getting to me.
Right.
But she performs with different people. She's different women in time, and I love that episode. That was one of my favorite episodes.
That was one of the best episodes. After each episode, me and my sister and family, we would talk about this, and I interpreted it as she was saying that women are God. Because did you see the scenery? Oh, we would have these deep conversations behind it. But remember the scene, like you said, after she discovered her inner like superhero and peace, and she was a warrior and this and that. And then there's this beautiful scene. The scenery was beautiful of the woman. Like I can only describe it as she was God. Like all the glowing shit.
I just felt like she was becoming the superhero that her daughter drew. Because her daughter drew.
That's what I love about it, because you can interpret it. But here's why I took it as she was God. Because the lady says, I forget the name of the title character. She says, well, she looks at Earth and she says, well, do I have to go back? And she says, no, you can choose to. And it was like she was floating. And again, it was that whole imagery and everything. So if you guys haven't seen Lovecraft Country, do yourself a favor.
It is the bomb.
It's going to win the Emmys. It's going to win the Emmys. Hands down, it's just beautifully made. It's deep. It's a mixture of cosmos and science fiction and history. It's got everything in there.
It made me look at the Tulsa, Oklahoma events, and it made me love us as a Black people, because we are very smart, we are very beautiful, and we are everything, and they keep trying to take it away. And that made me appreciate being a Black woman. It
was a beautiful show. It was a beautiful show. We lost Kennard, so I'm gonna go to this.
He's there, but you see his picture is there, but I think he's charging his phone. So
okay. So let me ask you guys this, okay? What is your idea of the perfect romantic date?
Okay.
And some of you are married. What's the idea of a perfect romantic date?
Mine is to go to like a Caribbean island, a private island, have somebody like serving us food on the beach. We have sex on the beach. It's just like under the moonlight, just beautiful sunset, beautiful city. Nobody's there except us. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a question because I got to go here with this. Have you seen the movie with Anne Heche and Harrison Ford where they get stranded on the beach?
No.
None of you guys have seen this? I'm a movie buff. And I can't think of the movie. I can't think of the movie right now. It's an adventure movie. Harrison Ford and Anne Hesh. Tasha's real good at looking shit up. They
Yeah,
get
I'm gonna look it
stranded.
up.
They get stranded, Daracel, and it's like it's a fun adventure movie. It's a really, really good movie. Number one, but they end up falling in love because they're the only ones on this island, and he has to go
6 days and 7 nights.
6 days and 7 nights. Do yourself a favor, because what you just described was their situation. You know, they start out not liking each other too, because she's a New Yorker and real businesslike, and he gave up the city life to live in paradise kind of stuff, and he's her guide, and in a storm they get shot down. Oh, because of the storm they stranded, marooned on this island. And what you just described is what happens. What was so great about this scene, he kills this peacock, and the scenery is just them two. This is where they fall in love, what you just described. Nobody's on the island. It's just them. So all of a sudden you're looking at all of the stars. That's some romantic shit. That's really some romantic shit. I give you a point on that. Who else?
Can I describe mine? So mine is my kids, like they take over everything. So a night without the kids. But either me and my husband have gone on cruises, and so either a cruise or a hotel where it's just us. I love candles, and we can have a fuck fest all night.
I like hotels, yeah.
Wow, how simple things are. Okay.
Oh, and some food involved because I love
Okay.
it.
Oh, but that's secondary. That's secondary. Okay. Who next?
I'll go.
Okay.
For me, I'm simple. Just number one, if whatever they come up with, as long as it's not like normal date ideas, would be acceptable. But ultimately, for me, someone who would cook for me and feed it to me. That would be it for me. Yes,
Wow.
like just serve me. Yes, that would be very romantic.
So I got to come with some additional questions. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Why for you is that so romantic?
Because it's so sensual. Just someone just to take the time and just feed you. Like it's everything. It's the mouth, it's the hands, it's the tasting of the different foods and everything. It's very sensible. Because you just can't go around just feeding everybody all willy-nilly. No, and I'm not talking about they just like shoveling shit in your face. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just taking the time preparing the food. Me sitting there on the counter while you're cooking and you're letting me taste things, just it's very just sexy to me. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm fat and I just like to eat.
Okay. Okay.
That could be it too. Shit, it could be just the food.
I gotta ask you this.
Uh-huh.
All of the different guys you come across, have any of them ever cooked for you?
Oh yeah. There was one of them. He cooked very well. He cooked very well. But it wasn't like that wasn't like our element though. That wasn't our connection.
Gotcha.
It's very important that you have to have that connection with that person. But for them, just like I said, for them to sit there and just take the time as they're making a nice sauce or something and just letting you taste it. And like you're licking your lips, it's their fingers and that's it's just sexy to me. I don't know.
I got you. Okay. I got you. Sherry, go. What for you?
Well, I like a boat ride, dinner boat ride, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I got wine tasting on it. And then you go over there with the music, and after that a nice hotel, or whatever. Cause see, I like to be eating shrimp or something like that, getting down on the balcony, bending over and all. I like stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yours is very simple. So question for you, because I'm going to follow it up. You've been in situations before. Why didn't that ever happen?
I've been in situations before.
Where you've had guys, you've been on boat rides. What prevented that from happening? I don't want to tell or hold your story, but at one time you was, financially at a much higher level than most of us. Why didn't you do that?
I'm telling you, that's what I like. I always do that. I like that. That's what I
So,
do.
for you, repeating that is still the most romantic thing.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, that's
Uh, I know
I
we're
love
losing.
how
I'm
we're
sorry.
all across different spectrums. I love it. It's like I want the private island. Candace is down with the hotel and no kids.
Right,
She want to be fed. I
right.
love that. That's what
Sherry's
guys don't
give her a
realize.
boat and some shrimp, and she's happy. You know, I'm waiting on
Yes.
I'm waiting on Kennard. We'll get him last, hopefully. For me, where I'm at in my life now, with Kennard's coming in, I know as he's traveling, that it's probably going in and out because of the
Yeah,
the kitchen, the mobile sites and whatnot.
I'm kind
Can
of
you
on the
hear us,
move,
Kennard?
but
I'm sorry. What you say?
what are we talking about?
I'm saying, what's your idea of the most romantic date?
Hang on. So we talking about the best dates scenario.
No. What's your idea of the most romantic date?
Well, for one is a one that is well, we got the kids situation waited because that's really the biggest part, trying to figure out what the kids where the
Okay.
kids are. All right, so once the kids are situated, uh, it will be an ideal situation to where wherever the kids at, you ain't got to pick them up later on that night, which is not always.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But let's just say I'm talking about best case scenario. You got the kids are just unaccounted for until the next day. You have either a hotel or maybe like what me and Candace have experienced, like a cruise type situation, to where we can kind of, as a married couple, your best case scenario is a scenario that distorts reality. Like you get as far from reality as you can get. You don't have
Okay.
to deal with no kids. You don't have to deal with work. All you're
Okay.
doing is fucking and eating.
He sounds
I'm
exactly
gonna
like
tell
me.
you why I love his answer.
All you doing is enjoying each other the way you were prior to the marriage. And I know effing and eating is really kind of downplaying it, but really just enjoying
No,
each other's company,
I'm loving it.
uninterrupted by
Even though
life
you're gonna
or
get me
kids.
put off, or you're gonna get me banned from YouTube, but okay. And I'm usually the one cursing. And I'm usually the one cursing.
It's a little different. It's a little different for all the married couples out there. It's a little different trying to have a super intimate experience when you're trying to fight with, trying to get Camille to be quiet, trying to get Cameron fed, and all that other stuff. But when you got all them out the way, you can really have a good time. And that's just what it is.
So let me tell you why me personally, why I love his answer. He didn't hear her answer. So she gave her answer when he wasn't on. And I love the fact that they were simpatico in sync. And then the other part that made that great for me is he intellectualized it. Where Candace was like blunt, and then after he played, he just came on out finally and said the same thing. Fucking in
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? But it was
Yes.
beautiful that your minds are on the same place.
Yes, because these kids, and that's me and Kennard. I'm the more blunt one. He's the more intellectual one. He tries to explain things, and I'm from the city. He's a country boy, so I'll be like, just say it
I
straight.
love it. That's why I loved how he was going all explaining it in detail till he just well fucking and eating. Sorry,
Yeah.
YouTube. I'm sorry.
But brother, listen. But did y'all notice that when he first started talking, Candace had the side head like. Now you better represent.
Hey, he more power to the brother because he came through. He came through.
After his answer, Candace's head was straight like, That's right.
Yeah.
He
And I,
came.
Y'all was in
and
The
that's what
sync.
point is, he
and I
came
hate to be
through.
like
Y'all
this,
was in
but I
sync.
never know what my husband is gonna say because
I
it's
Right.
love it.
like,
I love it.
But
I
y'all,
love it.
y'all was in sync, and y'all pretty much think the same way.
I love it.
yeah.
That's why this answer was
And
beautiful.
I know how it is because I had a kid. You got to get them situated, so I know. That's
Hmm.
good. Yeah.
What
Of
about
course,
you, Black?
of course. Again, mine. Again, at this stage in my life, it's crazy because I like what Darcel said. How we're all wanting something a little different. You know.
Mhm.
But food is involved in all of ours. Did you notice
Yes,
that? It was
it is.
Right.
involved in all of ours.
So food is not in mine. Food is not in mine. Food is not in mine.
You gotta know we like food as women. You gotta
I
feed us.
see. So any men that go back and watch this, take note. Food is very important. Now, thank God I do cook. I've always thought that was romantic to cook for somebody. I've used that, but here's the crazy part for me at this stage. What would be the most romantic thing for me is again, I've got to use another movie reference or whatever. You know, Kevin, what's his name in the movie that was with the bodyguard?
Costner?
Kevin
Costner.
Costner, you know,
Mhm.
played the killer. Room service.
Watch that pass by off.
Room service is very sexy. At this stage for me, I wish I would want to be with somebody where we're for a weekend in a 5-star hotel. It has to be a 5-star hotel. I'm talking about with the big king size bed with the 3,000 count sheets and the stupid big oversized pillows and everything. And here's my most romantic thing where we do not have to leave bed and having great conversation. That is the most romantic. I want to be with somebody that, for me, I enjoy talking to them because for me, if the conversation is really, really good, I get more turned on. And I want to be trapped somewhere with somebody to where the conversation is so good, I don't want to have to leave the room. And I want to be able to enjoy it. Now, to your point, Tasha, there's going to be some eating,
Hell
and
yeah.
and Daracel and Candace, there's going to be some fucking. But the
Of course.
conversation is the romantic part for me. That's the part for me. What I need. I crave that at this stage of my life. I actually crave it. So okay. We lost Kennard again. So we're gonna go into another question again. We got a little time, you know. So is there anything you won't do in bed?
Yeah. Oral sex.
Yeah.
No.
Sherry says oral sex.
No.
Sis, I'm
Uh,
not letting you off. I'm not letting you off that easy. We
Oral
had a
sex.
show before. We had a show before where you actually at the end of that show indicated that you might.
Oh yeah, maybe. Why
Have
not?
you? So this is where I'm going. So how far are you away from doing it?
I haven't really thought about that. I'm not in, no. Right now, I just can't. No, I'm not interested. And,
Okay.
Just lick the
I'm
tip, Sherry.
confused.
Lick the tip.
I
Oh,
don't. You let me finish. Oral sex and anal sex. I don't. I'm not with that either.
what?
No,
For
I.
her, that's a no.
Yeah, that's what.
Anybody
Why?
else?
Why oral? I want to know why oral.
Yeah.
Sherry.
Well, the thing is that as I was growing up, guys used to use it as a form of disrespect,
I know,
tradition,
and
and I don't know. I just it used to irk me so bad because I used to feel like when I used to hear people saying that to girls, like, "Oh, well, who thinks you suck now?" You're gonna be. She would be so embarrassed, and I saw a girl cry so bad, and I said to myself, "Well, you know, she's. I mean, I never did it, and so I didn't know about it, but I was saying to myself, well, you know, why is she embarrassed? You know what I'm saying about it? You know what I'm saying? But I used to say, but it didn't make me feel good. So I always grew up with that, and I said to myself,
Mm.
I'm not really with it. So
I can understand that because in our community, I'm not gonna lie, growing up in Wisconsin, well, in the Midwest in Milwaukee, they made it seem like somebody in high school doing oral sex, so you were automatically a hoe if you did
Right.
that. And
right,
Right.
so with my and my mother told me I need to stop talking about my first husband, but I'm gonna say it again. My first husband, he's the person that was like, "It's okay. I'm not gonna think you're a hoe."
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
So,
Go
and
ahead,
it's
brother.
something, and I'm not gonna lie, my current husband, the love of my life, enjoys it. Like it's my specialty. Not gonna put on.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Real talk. Okay, so
I
who want to go
remember
next?
being it.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll first say there's not anything that I won't do. I'll try everything once. But I remember when I was 16 for my birthday, I wanted to get my tongue pierced, and I did. And then when I went to school, all the girls were like, "You know what that means if you got your tongue pierced?" I was
Right.
like, "And
Right.
I mean,
What do
and
you mean? I got
and
my
then
See,
tongue
they
like a
tried to
month,
say that about my gap. My gap means that I like to do that. And I was
I got
like,
a tongue
what?
piercing.
I've heard both of
a
those,
month,
of course,
yeah, a
as a
month
man.
later, all the other girls at school had their tongue pierced too. So
So you telling me, so you
yeah,
trying to tell me that I'm ready then, huh?
you ready? You been ready,
Sherry's
Sherry? I
asking
know
I
for
said
a
you.
I
reason,
have
Daracel,
I have my
because she
tongue
has her
pierced.
tongue pierced.
Look,
Oh,
And don't
oh,
give head.
and
that's
I
a
had
waste
this for
of tongue
That's
years.
ring.
just for looks, then. Just
So
for
I'm
looks.
telling you, Darcel, you telling me I'm ready then, huh?
You ready?
The
You been ready?
assumption, Sherry, the assumption from a guy's point of view is when we see a woman with a tongue pierced, we go, okay.
Well, they be getting a rude awakening because
I'll say this
You
as far as
have to like it.
as far as not do anything that I will not do. I will not do another woman in the bed with me. That's not gonna happen. Now, if you want to invite another man, but
But
and
do
you
you
will not be pissing or doing anything else on me in the bed. Other than that, it's all game. We
Mm.
can we can,
He can
tear it
piss
up
on
in
you,
there.
just not in the
but
bed.
with another man, if
No,
you have another man, they gonna say they ran a train on you. And I
well,
hate
choo
that men
choo,
think
shit,
that.
choo choo. He gonna
Now
have us a good time.
now me, I've never been with a woman either. And I grew up in that time frame, the 2000s, where women were experimenting with women. I just have never found women attractive. And women have, oh my goodness, my kids. To me, women have soft bodies and they say they can pleasure you. They know what you need. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe one day, maybe.
No,
Hey,
thank you.
the door's still open. The door's still open.
I
Got you.
slammed that door, locked it, threw the key away, and everything. That is not gonna happen. What
It's,
about you?
I will say this. I have been with a woman, and there is something like very, very sensual about it. Like to have a woman's like soft body on you, like her breath. I mean, it's like a whole nother level.
See,
I
and
know
see,
No.
I danced with a woman in the club and her booty was very soft when I danced with her.
and you see how Daracel describes it so beautifully. That's why I've been a lesbian my whole life.
I
That's
believe it,
exactly
but
why.
I don't want nothing soft rubbing up against me when I'm having sex. I want something hard and I want something rough. I want nothing soft near me.
Just say, the way she even describes it, it's just so beautiful. It's just so
Thank
beautiful.
you.
And
Thank you.
at the end of the day, that's the thing with being a lesbian. I'm gonna want a dick at the end because all this lead up to eating out and stuff. I'll be like, okay, where's the dick?
You got to pull out something fake anyway, so let's just get the real thing.
Oh
There's
my
a lot
God.
you can do.
pretty
There's a
much.
lot you can do.
No, all that licking and lapping, I'm gonna be frustrated. Look now, we done did that already. Move, okay? Let's do something different. My leg
Right.
ain't all the way up here for no reason. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, because see, I usually I like that, a man to do me, but I kind of got turned up when somebody, the motherfucker want to sleep in there. Somebody let him sleep while in there. I know.
That's how I have all these kids from people. Well, my husband's sleeping in me, so I'm done with that.
I can't. See, I got too much going on for me with all of that.
I thank God I always pulled out, and that's what saved me. That's what saved me. Obviously, for me, no men and nothing in my butt.
Why? Why not? You gotta try it. You gotta do it.
No,
Yeah, I heard.
I hate. What's the damn thing they do when you get 40? What's it called?
A colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy.
No. What's the thing when
No,
they
your
check you for
prostate
your
exam?
yeah prostate exam? Oh my
I heard a
God.
lot of men like their butt licked by women. Now I've never done that, but
I've
I've
done
heard
it.
they like
I've had it done, and I could.
it.
It was just more freaky, something freaky to do, and I certainly went through my freakiest phase. Where
Oh,
okay, I let it done. For me, it didn't do anything for me personally.
Now,
Like I
what
wasn't
do you
turned
think
on.
of this? I went to Miami with a college friend of mine, and she's out there. She dated many different people. So this particular guy we were visiting, he used to play for the Dolphins, and
Hmm.
instead of saying a woman giving him head, he always described it as fucking the face. And when I said,
Mm,
"Are they giving you
mm,
head?" He was like, "No, they were. I was fucking the face." And
yes.
so,
Right, right.
what's
If you're doing it right, that's what
There is
they're
a
supposed to be
difference. No, there is a
what's
difference.
the
No,
doing.
there is a
Tell
difference.
me the difference.
There is a difference. Some men, like myself, I'm more passive, and some men are more aggressive with it.
Right.
Like for me, I'm a lazy head guy. Like I hate when they want me to fuck their face, and their head is hanging off the bed, and
Tears
and I'm
rolling down your
teacup
eyes,
and all that kind of
gagging.
stuff. I'm real lazy, and especially
Sounds like
now
a
that
good
Done.
time.
You want more?
I'm
Give her
lazy.
a little more, Taylor.
And then now that I've gotten even
And then
fatter,
that,
I'm even more lazier. So
take her bowl and get a different spoon.
so now it's even more of an effort to be trying to stand up, and it's a lot of work when you have to fuck somebody's face, because now you got to be holding their head and doing all the rough
Well,
stuff.
that's what he wanted to do, and I was
I'm
like,
more
what?
passive. So, and a lot of guys, they prefer it that way. I'm more It's funny, I had this conversation the other night. For me, I'm more passive aggressive, to where I like to, my thing is sitting and being comfortable. I have a drink in my hand, and I have the porn on, and I'm more turned on by the image of the woman on her knees giving me head. That is a super turn on point for me. And I like it soft, real slow. And I like to rub her face and talk shit. I'm a talker while
Yep.
I do it. So that's what turns me on,
I need cushion now. No, I can't be sitting on my knees that damn long. We gonna have to get creative.
That's
I'm
why
gonna
that's
have to
why
hang my head off
that's
this
why I have a
bed.
pillow for their knees to be comfortable, because I like somebody who can do it a long, long time. And then all the little things that go with it. You got the peppermint, that kind of the peppermint
And now they
and the
got the
Hall.
grapefruit.
Well, any peppermint or Hall stroke lozenge, it deadens the tip of the man's penis and prolongs him from coming.
Well, tell me what the grapefruit does, because I would think it burned y'all, but tell me what it do.
The whole it is it's a kind of burning kind of thing, but at the same time it's numbing. It's a numbing thing, so it prolongs the ejaculation. Now, Jolly Ranchers is a good one. I can say
What
what?
what if she has numbing cream for her throat?
That is a very good thing when a woman is. Now that's so thoughtful when she thinks ahead like that. That's just so great,
No, I had strep throat, so I just had some left over in the cabinet.
See, I'm just saying, so, but that's what makes it prolonged. Sherry's looking at us like we
because
just
y'all
all
wanna
disgusting.
no, because y'all wanna eat candy and shit and suck
Okay,
dick.
so I'll
How
say
you
this
eat
about
candy?
myself.
Why would you want to eat candy while you
I
suck dick?
I
You
like
I'll tell
can
good
you in a
wrap a
second.
head.
fruit because you want to. Yeah, you can wrap a fruit roll up around it and suck it off.
I'll tell you in a second, Sherry. Go ahead, Darcel.
I was gonna say, me personally, I like when guys come quick because that means you're doing a hell of a job. I do. I be sucking the
Hell
brakes
no.
off.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
yeah. When you're doing that,
Hell no.
when you're doing a blow job, as they say,
Yeah.
you do like for them to come quick because it shows that you're
Oh
doing it very well if they come
Right.
quick.
no,
Right.
no, no.
Right.
I definitely
Yes.
don't. I
No,
definitely don't want to
because
come
if
quick.
he because my thing is that's the beginning. Because if he comes real quick and then now we just sitting here looking at each other like, okay, well, what you gonna do now for me?
No, we're about to go again.
Yeah.
And a lot of
No,
men, don't. You asked the question, Candace, earlier about face fucking. A lot of men don't like the woman to look at them, so that's why they don't like the
Well,
whole
the men that I've been with, they want me to look at them.
thing. And I like the woman to look me. Bernie Mac told a story. He said, "Well, what you looking at me for?" I like the whole looking at me thing, and
Well, if
that's
you
why I
don't,
said, you know, for me. So Sherry, Jolly Ranchers and candy, it makes it real sticky and gooey, and it's just a beautiful thing.
Well,
Look at her face. Look at her face.
I don't know. All
So
right.
you're missing out on a great phenomena.
Mhm.
I should just say you're missing out on a great phenomenon. But anyway, let me get to another subject. We got about 20 minutes, and we're gonna end this one on a little bit more serious note, but a good note.
Okay.
What's the one thing you would change about yourself if you could?
For me, it's I wouldn't change anything. I mean, life is short, and I'm happy with who I am. I feel like I'm a take it or leave it person. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. But I gotta keep doing me. So I'm not gonna
Okay,
change anything.
good answer. I like the answer. Anybody else?
I think a lot of people tell me that I come off as cold, and that's one thing I would like to change about myself. I mean,
You don't seem cold. You seem, oh
I
my God, my
am.
kids are getting on my goddamn nerves. I like Darcel D. She's one of my favorites, and I want to have y'all on my show. But I like Darcel because she's mysterious, and that's intriguing.
Okay.
Oh,
So
see, that comes
D,
off as cold, though. You know,
I'm gonna
What you
people.
speak to the.
what
I'm
you
sorry. Go
say?
ahead, sweetheart. Go ahead.
I was gonna say people say I come off as cold because like a lot of people that have known me, coworkers forever, don't know anything about me because I don't like to tell people because it ain't none of their business, you know.
And
Which
that's
So
respectable.
which Candace reads as
mm,
mysterious.
right,
Darcel, I know where you're coming from. My experience with people when they first meet you, they do read the coldness.
right,
The initial impression is there's a coldness or stuck upness, or I've heard different terms, and I've even had to say to people on many occasions, she's so not that, as a.
mm,
And a lot of times though, that comes with when you're a pretty person too,
I
because a
feel
lot of
like
times people assume that if she's pretty, she's got to also be mean
right.
and a little stuck up and arrogant, and it's not just with women I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Men the same way. We had I'm sorry to cut you off, Candace. The meeting we had here, there, so you know what I'm talking about. I've
Hmm.
been told subsequent to that the person didn't know how to interact with you, because
Yeah.
once they saw you in person, oh my God, I couldn't believe she was right in front of me and this and that. And it was so weird because you was there when this was happening. And now maybe we saw the evening in a different way, but you're right. This
Mhm.
person was right here in front of you, and you couldn't have been more personable. You
Pretty
wanted to
much,
hug and
right,
party, and I just didn't understand what was happening up here. So
right.
even that person read you as different. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like this with black women and with women in general, it's different things that you get, and you can't force somebody to be open with you. And so
Right.
I respect every woman on your show is different, and that's what I like about you, Lee or Freddie. I like the fact that you have different facets of women, which is what I want to have on my show. Now with Darcel, I didn't view it as cold. I viewed it as a woman. Like she's I viewed her as a princess type woman. She's just a princess. She,
I
she,
am.
yes, and so that is something that I like because that's to me that's the Beyonce in me. We are the very high maintenance woman. I view Tasha as people view her as quiet, but she's the mysterious one as well. And that's
Yeah.
to me, that's beautiful as well. And then your sister, she has her own story as well, and that's beautiful too. So I think it's many facets to us as women, and we need to respect that. And I feel like men try
Absolutely.
to take advantage of that, but they need to let us be who we are
Could
because
have said it. Could have said it
something
better.
it's something special to
Could have
every
said it
piece
better.
of us.
Could have said it
Yeah.
better. Bravo. Bravo. Tasha, what's the one thing you would change about yourself if you could?
Oh, we don't even have that kind of time to even go into that situation. Physically, there's things I would change, of course, physically. But I would say if we're gonna talk about more just like personality wise, maybe I wish I was a little bit more extroverted. Just a little, not just a little bit, just a little bit. Not so much, because this is the extent for me. This is
Right,
the extent of
right,
socialization that I do
right.
because it's all that I have in me to do. This is really it. I it
And
takes me
she's
a
not
minute.
lying.
And
It
I
takes
love it.
me a while to like recuperate after this because it drains a lot of my energy to interact with people. So I wish I was just a little bit more extroverted.
I
Hmm.
love your
Yeah.
answer, and because I know it's 100% true.
Mhm.
What a lot of people don't know is I've had people say, "Well, why do you have her as a co-host?
Hmm.
She's boring and this and that." And I've literally been told that she and I had this conversation, recently. I chose her for a reason.
Hmm.
Also, I know that this was tough for Tasha because she doesn't. Prior to this, Tasha does not do social media. She
Mhm.
is very, very private and keeps to herself. But what I have loved about, we've been doing this for months now. I've watched her come out of her shell more than I have ever seen. And
Mhm.
so, to her answer, I love that it's very truthful. That it.
And
I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, I feel like she keeps you balanced. You need
That's what.
her
That's why
because
I chose her. That's exactly
because
why I chose
Lee,
her.
you'll go off, and Tasha is the good element to what you're trying to do.
Tasha,
And
did I?
I'm not
I
gonna
just
lie.
told her that the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally told her that the other day, Candace, that grounds me. It really does.
Hmm.
My personality is kind of over the top and all over the place. And I love that when I can ask her a question, she brings me right back down to a centered place. So, what somebody else might view as boring or whatever,
Hmm.
I know I'm always going to get that stability, that educated, articulate viewpoint from her. And that's for me what makes the connection magic for me. Okay, so that's why I love that. Sherry, what's the one thing you would change about yourself if you could? I
Mm,
can't see your face.
oh,
Okay, go ahead.
I ain't changing nothing.
You wouldn't change anything.
I mean, outside, I don't like the fact that people, uh, my facial expression usually show my mood. I don't like that.
Okay. Okay. So you wish you were a little bit harder to read.
Right, right.
Okay. Okay. I got you. I'll end it for me with that. For mine, it's all physical. It's all physical. Like Candace, I love everything about who I am.
Mhm.
Even my flaws. I tell people when I tell them about who I am, I'm an arrogant SOB. And I love that about myself. I have an opinion on everything. I'm the black Archie Bunker in living form, in all seriousness. But I worked very hard to be that person because I read constantly. I keep up with everything. I try to balance out even the academic part of myself with social media and pop culture. I love the fact that I have a lot of different sides and the fact that I can talk about just about anything and everything. I love the fact that to me, I believe that I'm always looking for a way to understand where you're coming from, but also I'm an arrogant SOB. I'm moody, I'm opinionated, I'm stubborn, but all those things come from my story and it got me to this place and it's led me to this place. But physically, I wish I was in a different body. But I tell myself, God, there's a saying when people make plans, God just laughs at you. Like, really? You know, because I thought when I had got to this stage of my life that I would still be this physically fit person. And God is a funny being in that he sees you and he knows things about you that you don't want to admit, and he puts you in a position you don't need to be. It honestly would not do for me to be living in Atlanta in 2021 and to be a physically fit, still nice looking guy, I would be dying of AIDS because I would fuck everything around here. I have the intelligence and the know-how. I know it's crazy as hell. I know what I can do and know what I can accomplish, but my opportunities have dried up because of my age and appearance. And it's a funny thing, and in a weird way, it's a protection because it has limited what I can go out there and do. I'm too fat to be getting out there. All of those, even my medical conditions, it forces me to have to pay more attention to other things than the two things that I have had all my life that I've valued was drinking and women. And so those have been taken away from me because of my physical ailments. And so that's the one thing I would change. But who I am, I love who I am. I absolutely love who I am. Kennard, we're going to end it with you, my brother. What's the one thing you would change about yourself if you could?
One of the things that I would change, especially like back in, when I was younger, was being, I'm trying to find the word. I've been drinking a little bit. I'm trying to find the word.
Okay.
The biggest thing I would change is like not being so much of a freaking asshole back from when I was younger, because it made me miss out on a lot of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Because you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I could change anything, it would be, not being so obnoxious, not being so arrogant, so to speak, because arrogance you can't win with that. And if I could tell my old self anything, it would be that story. Don't be the arrogant guy. Don't be the guy that thinks that people have been beneath you, because really at the end of the day, we're all in this struggle trying to, get from point A to point B.
Yes, sir.
So being arrogant and being a freaking asshole is just not where it's at.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Guys, look, we got about 9 minutes. I thoroughly enjoyed tonight's show. As I said from the beginning, this was a chance for us as a group. We can't physically be in the same room with each other. But what I loved about tonight's show was we're having to rethink how to reconnect with each other. You know what I'm saying? We started off, Darcel, you and Candace, you might have missed the beginning of this conversation. We were talking about just 5 years ago when people used to get together and have real fun by connecting with each other for real, not on their phones, not looking down, where you were in the same room. And this, we only talking 5 years ago, where remember those days when you played cards and dominoes and you laughed and you stayed up late and then you were drinking and had fun and you knew nobody wasn't going to hurt you and nobody going to get hurt, and you made sure everybody was going to leave safe, even if you had to let the person sleep over. And so I wanted this topic to be one of those things where virtually we could get together and laugh, connect, and get to know even more about each other, because as Kennard just said, we all on this same journey, believe it or not. At the end of the day, with all of our differences, and everybody that's come on camera is so different, but one thing we all have in common, we all trying to get to the same place. We want to understand each other a little bit better. We want to be in better relationships, be better girlfriends and boyfriends, husbands and wives, even mean ass Sherry. So, okay. I love my sister so much. Y'all just don't know. But even my sister Sherry, that we talk about this off camera, me and her just yesterday, she was on the phone with me when Kennard said you can catch more flies with honey. We had a situation where she said, brother, you just taught me something. I saw something. So we're all trying to get to the same place and just be a little bit happier, a little bit better. And I thank you guys for being willing to open up and tell a little bit about yourself. And it didn't hurt. But for people who are viewing this, let me say this last part about it. For me, whenever I do this forum, it's never with the intent to embarrass you, to hurt you. I open up myself by telling my personal stories. I do my best not to share names, but I also am going to be real. I'm going to be real, and sometimes that means discussing uncomfortable topics in a real way, but it's never designed to be malicious, to hurt you. And even when I said about the topic this coming Wednesday, it's not going to be designed to use it as a punitive thing. I'm glad what happened with Fantasia happened because it allowed me to be able to talk about what was an unpleasant situation in a learning perspective of what did I learn from it? What would I do different? And so anyway, for the wrap for this show, I loved it because I've been knowing some of Daracel I've been knowing for 20 years. And on a show like this, I learned stuff about her that I never knew. And as we've been doing this, I'm learning stuff about Daracel I never knew. Candace, I'm kicking myself because who knew you was so freaking cool?
I was at work, so I couldn't share all of this.
So that's what I'm loving about this. Tasha, my best friend, like we talk every day, and I still learn new things about her, new experiences. Me and my sister talk every freaking day, and we're closer now than when we were as children. And I love her in a way that I can't explain. And so this is I live alone, guys. So this is so therapeutic for me. I asked all of you how your holidays were. I didn't get a chance to ask you that, Daracel. You know, hopefully, sweetheart, you had a great holiday with your family and your children and everything. I spent the holidays by myself. It was a tough day in a lot of ways, to be honest with you, because for me, I had already talked to. I knew Daracel was in Memphis. My sister was on the phone with her literally up until the day before. All of the food she was cooking, I couldn't be a part of it. I knew Tasha was going to see her family. Without talking to Candace them and then hearing Kennard's story, they got to reconnect. I spent my holiday in my apartment, pretty much sleeping all day. It's a very tough day. So I look forward to seeing you guys on these shows because for me, y'all are my extended family. Sometimes God puts in our past what we need. Daracel is my sister. That's my sister. That's not my. That's not just not my friend. That's my little sister. Always will be. Candace, you've been adopted, whether you know it or not. I'll put that on everything I hold dear.
Thank you.
I love you to death. I don't make male friends very easily. I love Kennard. Love Kennard. He's a real guy, real, and that for me is what does it. Tasha, I love you in so many ways. So I thank you guys for constantly being here, spending your Saturday with me, because we couldn't be in each other's spaces physically. So I just want to say that to you guys. Great, great show. Does anybody want to add anything before we sign off?
No, I think you did a really good job of summing it all up. It's always good. These shows, we get so much out of it. And I know that it goes beyond just us talking here. I know that we all discuss it at some point in our life afterwards. So like I said earlier, this is the extent of socialization that I get and that all that I need. And it does wonders for me. So
thank you. D texted me. D was like, I had a tough week. I'm coming on, or I'll be a little bit late. Baby, I thank you. Thank you for the efforts, showing up, and for participating. Go ahead.
I just want to say I had a rough day at work. I was working with COVID patients. Y'all, COVID is real no matter what people tell y'all. There are a lot of people sick. We got 3 units in the hospital that are full of COVID patients.
Wow.
But I was so looking forward after a rough day to seeing all y'all's beautiful faces. That's why I was trying to hurry up and get to my Airbnb and shower and get on with y'all. It really does. It just makes all the stress or whatever just go away. I really do enjoy talking to y'all.
Same here. We've missed you. We know you work, but you have a lot of fans of people that love hearing your take, your views, and we've really missed you. And so thank you for coming on and everything. All of you've become a regular part of this. And so I want to thank everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.
Okay,
Hopefully, go ahead, sis.
Let me have my say. Y'all don't be picking on me. Stop listening to Freddie. I'm actually a nice person.
She is nice. Sherry's nice. She
She
just
is.
mean.
And y'all
She,
need
she,
to get to, well, maybe when this pandemic is over, y'all all need to get together with him and come see me in New York for a week.
Yes,
All right.
I'm down with it.
that's
Yes,
what's up.
I'm
That's
down
what's up.
too.
That's what's up.
And
She
Tasha,
means
me
that.
and you was in New Orleans, and we could have went down a block and found us two friends.
We
Girl,
could have. We should have.
She see how she's scheming and all this kind of stuff. But okay.
I thought she was a quiet, little quiet. I didn't know that
Mm-mm.
she could be a road dog. I didn't know.
That when this COVID is over, Daracel, and I thank you
Hmm.
for sharing that, how real it is. I
Yeah.
do pray that we're on the path with a new administration and where we can one day get back to some semblance of normalcy where we all can physically be in the same room. And that'd be a great thing to plan to
Yeah.
go to New York. And again, this is my sister extended invitation. That had nothing to do with me. Y'all are welcome to go without me. I will tell you this, my sister is the most hospitable person you will ever run across. So she will lay out the red carpet. You want to worry about a place to stay, nothing to eat. And she is a fantastic. I've sent people from Memphis and put them in the hands of Sherry, and they've told me it was the best trip they ever had. So it's not like something that I have to be there for. So that
Yeah.
invitation is real, and the invitation is also real here in Atlanta. Darcel, as this thing let up, bring your ass back. Tasha, you haven't
I'm
visited me
ready.
yet.
Listen, I'm
Candace, we
waiting.
right here in Atlanta, so we gonna have to get together and do
Yes.
something. So it's real. I love all of y'all. I thank y'all for real. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to have real people you love and enjoy and respect. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So say good night to everybody. And then once again, it's been another edition of Real Talk. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend.
So see y'all
Bye.
Wednesday.
All right.